Joining me now is the executive director at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies and former U.S. Treasury terror finance analyst, Dr. Jonathan Schanzer. Thank you very much for being here. We've got quite a week on tap. I want to thank you for joining us to talk about it. I wanted to start by listening to both what Trump and Netanyahu said about the Gaza war this week. Let's listen.
It's looking like we have a deal on Gaza, and we'll let you know. I think it's a deal that will get the hostages back. It's going to be a deal that will end the war. It's going to be a deal it's going to be peace.
They vow to repeat the atrocities of October 7th again and again and again, no matter how diminished their forces. That is why Israel must finish the job.
Okay, so what does this sharp contrast say about U.S.-Israel alignment heading into tomorrow's White House meeting? Because, you know, we heard both sides there.
Yeah, look, I got to say, I don't think they're that far apart, but I do think that Netanyahu has a domestic audience that needs to hear that he's not willing to end the war unless it's done on the right terms. I think we're hearing from Donald Trump that the right terms can be reached, and I think we're starting to get a little bit of detail about this 21-point plan that has been floated between him and some of these Arab states. But Laura, I'm going to just tell you my main concern. My main concern is that two of the partners that Donald Trump and his team are working with are actually patrons and financiers of Hamas. These are nominal U.S. allies we're talking about. These are the countries of Qatar and Turkey. They're going to be pivotal to getting a deal done, and neither one of them are exactly opposed to Hamas. In fact, in many ways, they are openly supportive of this terror organization. So trying to get these countries to help broker an end of conflict agreement, that's going to be a little difficult here. It's going to require some supercharged diplomacy.
You mentioned that 21-point plan. What are some of the most important elements of Trump's plan for Gaza's reconstruction and governance, in your opinion? What do you think?
Well, the big one is getting those hostages out right away.
Sure.
There's 48 of them, 20 alive, 28 deceased, could be even more deceased based on some of the things that we're hearing right now. That's going to be a big one. It needs to be front loaded. That's the way that the Israelis can agree, I think, to ending the conflict. They're also talking about having Hamas leave the Gaza Strip. In other words, they have to surrender. That is not going to be easy for Hamas to swallow, nor will it be easy for some of its patrons to swallow. Then beyond that, you've got the potential involvement of the Palestinian Authority, which is the government in the West Bank that is not trusted by the Israelis. So there are some tricky things here that need to be navigated. But I will say this, the Israeli public is tired. The people of Gaza, they're tired. The region of the Middle East is tired right now. So I think people would welcome an end of conflict, but it really will require, first and foremost, to have those hostages out, and it will require Hamas to step back. Not easy stuff.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.